Okay.
So right here, as I'm talking about body positioning, in the perspective of overcoming the lower person, the bottom player, you guys will know now as the bottom player, if you ever end up here, you will start to realize what the top player's objectives are. And so when you know the top player's objectives, you know that they are counter objective to what you want. Because what they want will be very bad for you. It will be against your good favor to win the match. So here, supine. You have to learn how to beat the supine position. First, the supine position is us laying down the ground, our butts contact, either our legs fully extended out, or we're on our feet here, or our feet are off the ground here, with like a 90-degree bend on the upper top of the box, right? Okay? Look at the supine position, but only from my hips and underneath. You see that? Underneath and like this, it's like Tetris right now. There's an L here, and then there's an L here. And then look at it underneath, there's an L here, and then there's an upward wall there. That could be another L there. So notice how that is structured. So here, and now look at the upper body. Above the hips to the shoulders. It's flat on his back, right? Look at the shoulders up to the head. There are times when you drive your head down to the mat and keeping your shoulders down to the mat. That is when a person is trying to get underneath your head and lift it up. If you know that they're trying to get underneath and lift it up, that's when you drive it down. That only occurs if they're probably really far in the game and made several advances to your full mount or have already conquered side control. If they're still in front of you in neutral position though, however, you should have your head off the ground, your back concave. Here, we want to bend and concave and bring our elbows in like this. There are many ready positions in Jiu-Jitsu off the bat. People like to do knee to knee, elbow to knee. Elbow to knee will close the space in between the hip to armpit area where they want to win this space battle, our opponent. So the top person's job is to get in between here. When he can get into in here on the side, this line that runs here to the elbow, to the armpit, when he runs to this line, he will fight the next line. The elbow, the armpit to armpit, armpit to the hip, and then he wins this whole battle over here on top. He gets to make and connect the dots in the square over here, and then he fights on the top surface and closes space with the chest. That's what the top player wants to do. So he comes to here, person on the bottom, if they're going to give you a good run and contest, which they should, because that is what comes with, you don't want them, if you're playing basketball, you don't want them to dribble the ball to the hoop, right? The closer they get the ball to the hoop, themselves to the hoop, the likelihood of them scoring is very close. Make sense? So that's why we always use, in basketball, they always put the tallest players where? At the end of the line. Sorry, right? You can cross all the short people outside the three-pointer, but then when you get inside the box, you're gonna run into some giants. So same thing in here. You don't want to leave giant space. Here you leave giant space. Hey, please enter and just smash me here. You want to be able to close that space off. When you do close that space off, now it gives them less room to put their wedges in, put their two wedges in. If you do this, they will initially start this conquest of this space with like either one knee or driving their chest down and then bringing still one knee in at a time. And then once they're in there, they pry you open. right? Like they push you apart. So here, you block this one and you block this one. And so this is one of the positions that you'll see that bottom players take right here. And you notice that a lot of them are here ready because they want to make contact with their feet. And they're here, they're ready, their hands are ready to make contact to with the other person's body, to make pulls or grips, to begin pushing or pulling, or using, getting themselves in a ready position to maintain distance by posting, right? Like, hey, you're not coming any closer. Stop! Stop! Right? If you're driving a car, a person's coming at you and something's happening, what if you can't hear them? You see this. What's this mean? Right? So it's like we're here and we're what? We're trying to stop that force. They're in no-gi when you don't have a lot of grips, and if some of your opponents drive, if they ever happen to start driving you this way, you'll notice that some people connect this top to this here. They plant their elbow to the ground and here, and they stop here and they reinforce. Because if there's nothing here, they drive it down, they pin this leg. But right, I sense what's going on. They want to pin this leg, so I use the response is using your free hand to reinforce and extend that missing space between the knee to the ground. You know, you fill in that space and say that you can't conquer this. Okay, so now let's talk about body mechanics that are in the way of conquering the supine. So we're gonna warm up with the next set of movements so that you can get familiar. Supine right here, okay? You can, when you're laying supine, your feet can open wide and drop inside your pelvis and open up like this. It has this mobility. See, it has this windshield like. So let's warm up with this movement real quick. Let's do this 10 times. Let's go, guys.